Alrighty, guys, sticking on the theme of, releasing news literally the second I hit upload on the last episode. Again, this is probably going to be a little bit of an older piece of news, but still wanted to talk about it because this article here from the Hollywood Reporter has some interesting things to say about the fact that the Rey Skywalker movie has another writer. Now, if you guys haven't been following the saga of this Rey Skywalker movie, well, I mean, if you've been following the saga of any Star Wars movie in the past 5 years, which none of them have been released thus far, it's because they've all been basically following the same script, or the same two variations of one script. Option number one, movie gets announced or reportedly announced, basically all but confirmed, and then it gets canceled. Quietly or, quietly usually. They don't outright cancel these movies, but just quietly, it disappears. Option number two, which is the path that this Rey Skywalker movie seems to be taking, is that it is stuck in development purgatory forever, which means new writers, new directors, new directions, all sorts of random things, or delays, or production issues, or whatnot, and all these different things culminating. So, the Hollywood Reporter has just put out an article here saying that this Rey Skywalker movie, which actually this article has some interesting nuggets here, the first of which being, and I don't know if this is just the Hollywood Reporter saying this because they know something or just assuming that this is what it's called, but they have called this movie New Jedi Order, and they put it in italics and everything. It's, like they're actually referencing the title of this movie. Now, I've not heard this before, so if this had been announced somewhere, somebody please let me know. I looked up New Jedi Order into Google just to see, and it doesn't look like it's been officially, there's no Wikipedia article about it or anything like that. So Hollywood Reporter, I guess, announcing this movie's going to be called New Jedi Order, I guess? I don't know. These articles from Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, and Variety, they have a headline usually. And, the other day, we talked about the fact that Supergirl was going to be in Superman, but the headline itself was Supergirl's parents are being cast, which is fine and all. But usually the big pieces of information are just kind of hidden in here. So I don't know. Is this the case? Is it just, the sneaky announcement that this film is going to be called New Jedi Order, which, by the way, based on the production of this movie, could change in the next week. So who even knows about that? Anyways, so the film, we're going to call it New Jedi Order, has hired its, I think, third set of writers. And this guy in particular, the new writer, is George Nolfi. So George Nolfi is known for writing particularly The Bourne Ultimatum, part of the Bourne series with Matt Damon, and Ocean's 12, one of the more famous heist franchises in Hollywood. So there is that. That is sort of the basic news here. But then there are other, little nuggets here. First of all, it just kind of goes through the saga here of what's been going on here. And I think so they go through the order of the writers. The first writer that they hired was Damon Lindelof. And Damon Lindelof was best known for Watchmen and Lost. And so he was the first writer alongside with, I'm going to read, Justin Britt Gibson, I think, as well. He was alongside Damon Lindelof. They were the original writers. But then they were, announced to be writing a film. And then Daisy Ridley was on board. So I guess this was before we even knew what the film was going to be about. Then Daisy Ridley came on board and it was like, oh, okay, this is going to be a Rey Skywalker movie. Then those writers were out, Lindelof and Britt Gibson. And then Stephen Knight was hired to be the writer. And Stephen Knight, he was one of the writers, I think. I don't think he was the creator, but one of the writers for Peaky Blinders. And then by October 2024, and that's when, by the way, October 2024, I think, was when that big article came out about how Disney was so desperate to put Rey Skywalker and everything. We covered this on our channel, and you can go check that out in a previous segment. But yeah, so Stephen Knight, he was out in October 2024, and this film was again indefinitely delayed. And now we have another writer, George Nolfi, who, look, I mean, great. Hire a good writer. And it looks like, George Nolfi seems like a pretty good writer. I haven't seen The Bourne Ultimatum. I haven't seen Ocean's 12, but those are two successful franchises. I desperately hope those are not the most hated films in those particular sagas. But, what this article points out is that he's known for writing elevated thrillers. And so this might be an indication that this is the direction that Lucasfilm wants to go. Except Lucasfilm doesn't even know the direction Lucasfilm wants to go. So I don't know what to make of this on the surface other than just I'm going to assume he's going to be out in 6 months. And that's a really sad place to be. The other interesting things that are hidden in this article say that this film is going to be taking place 15 years after The Rise of Skywalker, and it's going to be about Rey training Jedi, which we knew. We knew that. But yeah, I mean, New Jedi Order, I guess, being the title, which again could change. This film being, taking place 15 years after The Rise of Skywalker, which could change, especially because there's a new writer. George Nolfi can do whatever he wants, apparently. And so, guys, look, I'm talking about this because, I mean, it's big news if it actually sticks, right? If it actually happens. But this is just the state of things with Star Wars movies. And look, I love Star Wars. I want nothing more than, every year to have a Star Wars movie. I think that would be awesome. And we're just not there yet. So it's eternally frustrating to hear this kind of stuff because it's just a reminder of how bad things have gotten. And let's just say this film is made. and let's just say that George Nolfi sticks as the writer and Rey Skywalker, and it comes out great. But when 2029, and so I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I'm hoping Mandalorian and Grogu is the start of just a successive train of Star Wars movies. We go Mandalorian and Grogu, we go Ryan Gosling, Sean Levy Star Wars movie. Maybe then 2028 we go Dawn of the Jedi, and then maybe 2029 we get this movie. I don't know. I really don't know what to make of this. Guys, what do you think about this? The fact that The Rise of Skywalker has its third writer or third, round of writers in about a year and a half. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about that. What do you guys think about that? And do you think that this film is actually going to, stick with this writer? Do you think this film is actually going to come out? Let me know in the comments down below.